Hi guys, it's Pavel for bassmusic.com with another tutorial on Native Instruments Massive. This time is a pretty cool sound. It's kind of or variations of it are quite widely used around dubstep and the bass kind of genre. I'll just quickly demo you the sound because I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like this. Pretty nice kind of full rounded bassy kind of thing, which is pretty cool to use in different genres. So we'll jump straight into making it. We've got 3 oscillators on this. The first oscillator we're going to set to a dirty needle and set the wavetable position all the way over to full. Then next the intensity just off 12 o'clock and the amp all the way up. And we're going to pitch it down 2 octaves to minus 24, like that. And we're going to set it to formant. So that's all we need to do on the first oscillator. The second one, we're going to set to the trusty scrapyard. Leave the wavetable position all the way over to the left. The intensity just before 3 o'clock and the amp all the way up to the top. And we're going to set the pitch to 24, so up 2 octaves. On oscillator 3, we're going to set to a sine triangle and put the wavetable position just before 12 o'clock, the intensity just after 12 o'clock, and the amp all the way up, just like that. And we're going to pitch that down 2 octaves to minus 24. So that's our oscillators done. We're going to turn the modulation off for now, although it can kind of bring some quite interesting effects and sounds and variations to this, so have a look at that when you're playing around with the sound. On the noise, we're going to set the colour all the way to 12 and we're going to set it to a high metallic and put the amp just before 12 o'clock and the feedback to around about 9 o'clock. So that's our oscillator settings done. So we've got this. The next thing we need to move on to is the filter section. We're going to whack a scream filter on there and put it just before 12 o'clock or maybe more of 11 o'clock. And the same for the scream, about 11 o'clock. We don't need filter 2 because we're only going to be using 1, and we'll set the resonance around about the same as well on that. So if we play around with the cutoff, we've now got this sound, but we'll leave that there for now. Okay, the next thing we're going to move on to is the, actually we'll do the inserts first. We're just going to stick a parabolic shaper on there, put the dry wet at 12 o'clock and the drive just off full. So now we've got this, which is kind of getting towards the basis of our sound. Now, one of the big things on this is the envelope. So what we're going to do is we're going to take envelope 1, and this is kind of really important to the sound. I'll show you why in a bit. But if we take what we want to do is we want to get the attack down to about there. What do we want to do? We want to put the level all the way up to the top. The decay can stay in the middle. And then the release isn't too important, but we kind of want to get it around about there. The most important thing here is the attack, and I'll show you why in a second. Now we need to route this envelope to quite a few of the parameters, so perimeters, or whatever you want to say. I'm turning American. Okay, right, so what we want to do is we want to take the envelope and stick it on oscillator 1 on the wavetable position. And we want to bring it back just a little tiny bit there. And then we want to take it to the oscillator 1 intensity and turn that all the way up. And then we want to take that to oscillator 2 and put it on the wavetable and take that up to around about quarter. And then take it to the intensity on oscillator 2 and take that all the way to the top. Then the sine triangle we want to move on oscillator 3, the wavetable position all the way to the top, and the same for the intensity on oscillator 3 all the way to the top there. And now we also want to move it onto the filter cutoff, and we want to take it from there all the way to the top. And for the scream, we want to take it just a little bit, so we kind of cover the scream text up the top. So it's kind of just around about that much. Now you'll see we've got this sound, and you'll see why it's kind of important. The envelope actually offers the delayed attack. Now if we set the attack directly, it'd have a very punchy sound, but we'd kind of lose the effect of the sound we're trying to make. So when there's quite a fine spot on the attack to get. You can see just about there you get that kind of squidgy effect. So that kind of gives us our sound. So that's basically it. We don't need an insert 2. On the effects we'll put a classic tube, and you can just kind of mess around with these. These are very preferential. We'll put a bit of a dimension expander on the EQ on this. It's quite cool to boost the low shelf, because it brings out the sub there, and then just take the high shelf and the boost and give them a little bit of boost there. But yeah, that's that you can kind of play around with them to your preference. So now we have this, and obviously be sure to take the master down. So that's the kind of the sound, but if you want to add some cool vibrato to it, we can go to the sorry, where am I? The oscillator section here, and just pop the rate up to about 12 o'clock, and you'll see you get this sound now. So if you do it really quite quick, you get that cool effect that you can manipulate on certain notes. Obviously map this to the macro, so if you stick the macro there and pull the macro up, you can control it via your MIDI keyboard or whatever, or of course by the knobs, the macro knobs here, and then you can select when you want your vibrato to kick in. So as usual, I'll stick it in the patch in the download link on my website. So if you want to go and grab it and deconstruct it, do that. And don't forget to check out BASSMUSIQUE.com. I'll link it in the description underneath the video here. It's a new project that I'm involved in. This for electronic music producers, or any kind of music producers really. It's going to be full of tutorials and downloads and forums and chats, and hopefully lots of like-minded people who want to make cool music. So go and check that out. And yeah, I'll probably be moving my tutorials over to them shortly. So yeah, thanks for watching the tutorial with me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.